This week on Launch, Germany's hottest no-code builders coming to the US. How to not only share but collaborate inside of any old window on your desktop. And who's gonna get us out of this banking integration hell that we're in? I don't know, but we're throwing a whole bunch of money at one company to solve it. We're gonna talk about that and a host of other tech goodies this week on Launch for Companies. Screen sharing, we've all done it. We've all had to ask permission to do it. It's useful, but it turns out it's broken. It can be way better. New launch here that has a different approach to screen sharing altogether, and I love it. Check out CoScreen's approach. Rather than sharing a static visual of a window, you share your windows individually with other people. They can click around inside those windows. You can see their cursors, and they can edit everything inside of that window just like you can. Think about that. Share any old window on your desktop. They can hop in and edit stuff. You can have like an entirely collaborative workspace on your desktop. I don't know about you, I love this. Like it feels almost like something bigger. Like, why is this something that's not baked into every operating system? Share any old window with a contact. They can hop in and edit it just like you. You know what? I'm gonna be shocked if this isn't a part of every OS someday. But what do we do until then? Go give CoScreen your money. Or don't, because it's free right now. You try out this new age sorcery at no cost through at least May. Early access, so there still may be some things to work through. But go check this one out at CoScreen.co. Ask anybody outside the accounting profession whether gathering banking data and managing bank feeds is a solved problem, and they'll say, yeah, sure. QuickBooks been doing that for over 10 years now. It's all automated. Pfft, not even close, bub. The biggest thing holding back bookkeeping automation in reality is still bank feeds. So who's gonna save the day? Sure as heck isn't gonna be the banks, so it looks like the plan now is to throw a ton of money at Plaid and see if they can do it for us. They just raised a new round of funding at a $13.4 billion valuation. Maybe normies do understand the size of this problem, I don't know. Whether you realize it or not, pretty much everybody has used Plaid at this point. It's this little guy. It walks you through a few steps to connect to your bank, and until that inevitably breaks, the two apps can talk to each other. It's an elegant solution over the top of a total yard sale of data. A few banks like Wells Fargo have partnered with Plaid directly to be able to provide an API integration, but for most banks, it's still reliant upon bots, scraping data off of those websites. It's the kind of tech you get from tools like HubDoc, and it's never gonna be that stable. All it takes is the bank changing one aspect of their website, and your otherwise productive bot is going to get, well, confused. That is the state of banking in 2021. It's why I like neobanks, why I lean into banks that have a good solution for this, like Relay Financial, but you don't have control over this for your entire client base. Now, Plaid has come a long way. What they're trying to build is not simple, but at a certain point, all of us need to hitch our horses to somebody to get us out of this mess. Now, Plaid fundamentally is a tool for developers, but you all are an enterprising bunch. Turns out it's not actually that hard to make your own API calls to Plaid to pull banking information on a regular basis. If only there was a community of accountants really savvy with tech doing this sort of thing. So congrats to Plaid on the new round of funding. Learn more about this one and connect banking connections of the future over at plaid.com. If you have spent any time on Twitter, you have no doubt heard of On Deck. But what is On Deck? Why in God's green earth do you need so many fellows? And why'd they just get a fat funding round of 20 million bucks? On Deck's essentially an accelerator, but not for companies or ideas, more for people. Warm-blooded human beings like you and I. They've collected a load of talented fellows from different domains from around the world. They round them all up and they pour what they know into talented kind of up-and-comers. They do a lot of stuff. Take a look at all the programs they've got going over on their website. So under programs, you're gonna see stuff for investors, VCs, angels, founders, fintech, health, all sorts of stuff. But the two most relevant to what we do, fintech and no code. Kicking off on June 8th is an 8-week fintech program for founders and operators exploring kind of what's next for financial services. They're gonna surround you with a load of talented fellows with experience in the fintech space, and arguably even better, you're gonna be a community with a ton of other talented people exploring the future of fintech. So that is their fintech program. Applications close late May. The program kicks off early June. They've also got a program for no code, and you know how I feel about no code. So that is On Deck. Head over to beondeck.com to learn more. Let's talk time tracking. No, there's plenty of good reasons to still Okay, this one goes out to those of you who are still tracking time. I didn't say, okay, so the time tracking we get from our tax suites suck. These apps are now decades old. I say that as a person that stands by tracking time, not necessarily billing time, but tracking time across your team. And now that we've got really solid web integrations, it's never been easier to carve out the time tracking aspect of your legacy tax suite into a slick little standalone tool that integrates with everything else you do. So check out TimeCamp. They've been around the block, but just launched a super generous free tier. So it isn't a new tool, but it's newly free. So what does it do? Well, it tracks time. And on the free tier, you've got unlimited projects, unlimited tasks, unlimited users, desktop and mobile app. Big limitation is they only let you use a single integration of your choosing. TimeCamp boasts a big old list of integrations from QBO to Xero to Zapier. As you move up into the higher tiers, you get some of the stuff like budgeting, custom reporting, timesheet approvals, that sort of thing. But the news here is they now have a free version, but their highest tier is only $7.50 a month per user. So if you like the free version, I know you're an accountant, but don't be a cheapskate. We've got enough to overcome as a profession. So if you're still doing old-timey time tracking, this guy. Check out TimeCamp for a solid, future-friendly time tracking solution at timecamp.com. Bryter has a fresh round of funding to, as they put it, bring their German no-code tools to the US. I say welcome, German no-code. There is plenty of no-code to go around right now, that's for sure. So what is it that is worth bringing over to the land of the free? Looks like they're going a bit further than other no-code tools. While most are focused on integrations, wiring A to B, kind of like Zapier, Bryter wants you to build entire applications without code. It looks pretty interesting. In addition to a host of integrations, the kind of things you would normally expect, you get a fully featured modular application builder. So you're not only designing the logic of the program, but the actual application, the user interface itself. They've distilled that all into a drag and drop editor that is simple enough for people like you and I to understand. And they've even got some accounting specific use cases over on their website and a white paper from PwC. So keep that one in mind if you have got unique to you or unique to your client workflows. I think we're positioned really well to be the advisors to plug in these solutions for our clients. So learn more about this one over at Bryter.com, Bryter. Stop using institutional credit cards. Just stop. They're so bad. We've got better options now. Ramp here is one of them, and Stripe just led a big old juicy round of funding, but this is starting to get to be a crowded space, corporate card management. And I get it, it's with good reason. Managing cards and receipts across a bunch of people is awful. It's the worst. So when you're looking at these different corporate card options, it's worth considering what is the specific problem you have with your current solution, because each of these new platforms is geared towards a specific pain point. Ramp here has positioned themselves to get you mad gains in productivity. They promise you can close your books 5 times faster. What would you do with all that extra time? Yeah. Okay. What? Ramp's gonna not only help you wrangle your card activity, they're setting out to actually wrangle the spend itself. They hold themselves out as the first corporate card solution that actually saves you money. They've got some categorization and receipt management powers like you'd expect from like a receipt bank or something like that. And of course, integrations to get all the goods back to your accounting system in time for dinner. No. Ramp's got your cashback reward systems like you'd expect. Starts out with a free tier, and then there's a paid tier if you need some of the more power user platform capabilities. Looks pretty neat. Check this one out over at ramp.com. Thanks for stopping by. If you want to go deep on accounting tech with a bunch of other accounting dorks like myself, check out our sister community, Realize at rlz.io. Otherwise, get the latest launches over at launchfa.com. I'll see you next week. But let's break down why it's compelling anyway. This right here. Yeah. Or you can let your employees choose their own adventure. Partnership. Ooh. That's why we need to recognize the good that Santa's doing, but the person stops. I know. You're doing something else. You don't care about this Zoom meeting.